Hello again, everyone. I just wanted to give an update on where we're at after today. This pretty much took about the entire day, longer than expected, but I think it was worth it. It should look pretty nice once we get done. So the first thing we did today was we started cutting up the boards. You'll see a little bit has changed since the last time. And I found another video on YouTube showing how to extend your existing hardwood floor. So I started over here and I worked in this direction. Now I already have some lines. I hope you can see them. They're already drawn on the board of where we were expecting to go. In the video they said that I should go all the way to the end of the next board, so you get this tongue. But if you notice, for instance, on this board, we were going to go up to here, but I'm not sure how many square feet I will have. But in particular, this one board, it actually goes all the way under that shop vac somewhere. So if that was the case, if I was supposed to go to the end of the board, I mean, I'd almost have to cut another 6 feet before I get to the end. So what we did, I just cut it off as straight as possible, and we're just gonna butt it straight up against there, and hopefully with the other boards being, you know, right next to it, it should tie in pretty well. As you can see, this one right here is one of the boards that I just cut straight across. There is no tongue on here, so I slid the new unfinished wood up into that, and you can see these two, they're actually pretty close. Don't mind this. I think this new board here is a little off. But as for the top, I mean, you can see there isn't really any space, and there isn't too much waggle, especially once you put in that next board right next to it. So that, hopefully that should work out all right. We are gonna, you know, sand and refinish the floors, so hopefully we can get them to match up in color pretty close. But with cutting the board so far into the dining room, it should match up pretty nice. But so what I did after watching that video on YouTube was I cut two lines. The first one was about a ½ inch in from the board to get past the tongue, and then the next one was 2 inches from the end of the board, which would cut through the nails. And that way, once you get to the end, say for instance of this one where the board ended, you could just slide it right out, and it came right out pretty easily. Now for these, I used that same Dremel multi-cut and just like plunge cut straight into the top. And you know, once I got that out, I was able to just pull out that board. And then you can see on this one what I did. Hopefully it's not too blurry, but you can kind of see I just cut straight across, and it actually left pretty straight cut and not much extra work, so we shouldn't need too much wood putty or anything really in there. And it actually turned out pretty nice. I was surprised. So that took quite a few hours to cut every single one of these boards, pull them up, then knock in the nails. You can see, you know, you can see all the cuts that I made through, you know, the 2 cuts into the board here. I went a little bit farther down into, I guess, the subfloor, but that's no big deal. It's not through the board. And then what we did, we finally finished up the wall, which came out nice and smooth. So there was a couple coats of spackle on there and sanding and all that good stuff. Then we spent a lot of the day just vacuuming up all of the wood shavings and, you know, spackle dust and all that stuff. And then finally, the last thing we did, we primed the kitchen ceiling, and now tomorrow we're gonna hopefully paint all the ceilings. Like I said, we do have to go all the way into the living room, which is kind of going to be a pain. But once we get it all done, it should look nice. And then hopefully we were also going to paint this back wall all blue. And that should be it for tomorrow. So we'll see how it goes.